Blub 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 blub. The VHS and DVD collection is doing pretty well, but I am running out of space with both formats. So I'm planning to get a new bookshelf for right here to hold duplicates, more TV shows, all that good stuff. Now, in order to make this work, I've had to move the 3 shelves I have, and it was really close because the small shelf there is right against the wall, so I was lucky I was able to make this. This shows how much I had to move them, because otherwise, if I was starting from here, it was going to cut into the wall socket. So, I mean, I did some measurements, and yeah, I'm going to be cutting it close, but the shelf should end about there. And I've got that coming in about a week's time, so that'll be fun. So this will probably, I've got DVDs and such coming within the next couple of weeks, but we begin properly on February 20th. Now, before anything gets done, I want to do a quick recap on how the collection is. So this is basically, if we're doing a before and after, this is going to be the before bit. So we've got the Recordable collection, that's all good stuff, all that, duplicates. The main VHS collection. Yeah, I have work to do here. I have plans on what to do. Yeah, some things are going to get moved. And if I'm lucky, I'm going to try and get every single Thomas and Friends release on one shelf. Well, I'm going to do the best I can with it, but I'm going to be pushing it. And some of the duplicates are going to get moved as well. I'll explain all when I do a proper... when the new shelf gets here. And when it's been built and I'm starting to move stuff. Now, a quick thing before I actually do anything. Some people have been asking about this Tom figure. My wife has a crane game on her phone, and she's able to win plushies on it. And she won me this because she knows how much I like Tom and Jerry. So basically, he sits here with Shadow the Hedgehog guarding everything. He guards those recordable CDs back there. So we have all that, all this good stuff. I'll do a proper tour, obviously, when it's all done. Got all this, CDs and stuff everywhere. Then we've got the DVDs. It grows all the time. And like I said, this is where the new shelf is going to be. So these posters of Dracula and Frankenstein, I'm probably going to have to move them. Oh, joy. So, yep, in about a week's time, the new shelf arrives and we get on with it. Now, apart from the duplicate DVDs I have of TV shows and movies, the main reason I am getting a new shelf is because there's a certain TV show I've been wanting to collect for a while. And it's been a couple of stressful and irritating days trying to get it delivered, but we finally have the first DVD in the collection. Thank God. I have a story for this, but when I do the proper collection, I'll explain then, but we got it. Now, obviously, I don't have the shelf yet, so I can't do much with this until next Sunday, which would be the 20th. But at least it's started now. Oh, thank God. Another DVD has arrived, this one without any trouble, and it's a lot smaller than the last one, because the last one had 3 DVDs in it as opposed to 1. So I've only got 1 more on its way. I have more to buy, obviously, but this is another one that's arrived, and I've got 1 more on the way. I don't know if I'll be buying any more until the shelf actually arrives, but You know, at least this one arrived without any trouble. Now, I was getting a little bit concerned because I'm buying this shelf I'm buying is another one of these, and I was concerned that what I'm buying, what I have planned for it, won't actually fit, because what I've bought is part of a series that has 14 volumes, soon to be 15. And I wasn't sure if it would all fit in one shelf, but I was able to work it out because there are two VHS tapes. This is going to be a horrible explanation, but two DVDs rather, fit into one VHS tape, basically. And hang on, use this. So this is what I'm going with. I'm assuming that if it fits like this, I will have decent enough space for it. So there's 14 VHS tapes on here. So my belief is that I can fit 28 DVD cases on this. So I should, in theory, have enough space. I mean, obviously it's not going on this shelf. But I was just using this as a test subject, if you will. So let's see how this goes for us. Finally, I have a third box set in seriously oversized packaging. So I can't do anything with it yet. I still have 4 days until the new bookshelf arrives, so it's just a waiting game at this point. So I will get back to you when the bookcase has arrived. That'll be fun. Well, it's finally here. There has been a fair few days delay, weather related I suspect, but the shelf is finally here, and now after about 7 minutes of wasting your time, we can finally get started. Wish me luck on this. This is the first time I've actually built a shelf on my own. Usually I have my wife there, and she is infinitely better with these things than I am. So I'll get back to you when it's done, which will be right about... Now, it was surprisingly easier than I imagined. Yeah, I didn't have the right tools. I barely had enough time. Well, I had a couple of hours to spare, but I didn't have the right tools. I had a screwdriver at best, and then I had to ask my wife for a hammer. But yeah, surprisingly easy. In my family, we're known for being incredibly stubborn, so we make do with what we have. So I've got some things to do, and then I'll put the shelves up, and then we can start moving stuff. Whew, finally. We're going to start with the VHS shelf. I've got a few things to move here, so we're going to start with these three. I'm doing something with Back to the Future. Something... I wasn't planning to do this initially, but then when I saw I would have enough space, and, you know, Back to the Future is my favourite set of movies, I figured I could do something good with this. Now, as I mentioned earlier, my plan is to have all the Thomas and Friends videos on one shelf, so a few things have to move. I need at least 3 VHS tapes to move. But my problem is the Cartoon Network range. I want them to remain all on one shelf. So I need a space filler for this shelf. So instead of 3 videos moving along, it's only 2. And I was thinking Disney with this. So I bought Aladdin. This is a movie that I always thought was really good as a kid, but I never owned it on VHS. So, seemed like an obvious choice. If I could remember the alphabet. And then I can move these up. These two. And there's a bit more space. Fancy that. Everything move up. Do that. Now down here, there's a VHS tape I want to move. On the Right Track, A Beginner's Guide to Model Railways. I feel like that doesn't belong with most of what I have here. It's all TV shows and movies. So that moves up. Now we're down to 3. You can tell I've had a few weeks to plan this out. Move that up. Take them out. Stir a little. Oh no! Wait a minute. That ain't right. That ain't right. Oh, it's Space Jam. That's right. I was needing that before I decided to actually get a hammer. I was trying to use Space Jam as a hammer for the bookshelf. See, I thought something was missing, and that's that shelf. And now we've got this shelf. So the plan is to try and get it all in one. Oh God, move them up. So here's the problem. We've got enough space for 3, but 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've only got space for 3. And I thought about this. I have figured this out. This whole thing, put that elsewhere. Perfect. All in one. It's looking better already. Now with the Recordable Collection, I don't need to do much. The Universal Monsters are staying as well. But these ones, I want to do a bit of work with these. So, the Holiday Planners are staying, Model Railways are staying. Take out all the duplicates and see which ones I can make do with and which ones I can't. Because some of them are duplicates, some of them are just empty cases. So, we've got the Holiday Planners there. Where is on the right track? Yep. Helps to know the alphabet. And then I'm going to put that in there. Perfect. Now I need to work out the duplicates. Ace H is 1. Billy Connolly's 1. Look at the state of this VHS case. I have no idea what happened with this one. I probably stewed on it. Put that in there. Children's cartoon favourites. Oh yeah. I've got Pokemon the first movie. I have a story for this. When we do the tour, I'll talk about that then. But I'm going to put that elsewhere because that's broken. And oh yeah, my original copy of Mewtwo Returns. I forgot I had this. It was in the case for Pokemon Forever, which is back there, out of frame. So yeah, keep that. Postman Pat's big video. How does the alphabet go? There. Scooby-Doo. And Singing Cat Pirates. And we have room for one more, which is Tom and Jerry Volume 1. Now those are the real duplicates. We're getting there. Down a bit. These DVDs are getting moved. We're putting them over there. Now, in the weeks I was waiting for the new shelf, I had time to figure out what I was going to do with each shelf. And the first shelf is a no-brainer. Put that there. Where did I put the other one? Put that there. And where are the Blu-rays? That was another movie altogether. And that's Back to the Future 3. Now, where is that last one? I had another box set for Back to the Future and I forget where I put it. This is what I was after. It's the 4K and Blu-ray remaster for the 35th anniversary, I think. And there we go. I have a Back to the Future shelf. It's something I should have done ages ago, but only now do I realise I could have done that. So I have a lot of duplicate DVDs, both movies and TV shows, and I have to try and figure out where to put them on here. So I will get back to you when I've figured it all out and when it's all sorted. So I took some time and did what I could with the shelf. I had to stop and actually think about a fair bit of this. But I got there, and you know, when we do a full tour, I'll stop and talk about things individually. It's all fabulous. This is completely unrelated to the video, by the way, but this is a broken laptop I have. Well, it's not really broken. It's from 2007. This is what I made a lot of my early content on, and I'm trying to get some data off of it. But there's one problem. It just won't turn on, and if it does turn on, I've got a cracked screen, and it'll crash at complete random. So this is what I'm going to be spending a bit of time on, trying to see if I can get this thing working. I mean, I'm not that bothered if I can't get it to work, but let's put it this way: if you see any content within the next 6 months that looks vintage and non-HD, then you'll know if I would have been able to get this thing working. But beyond that, everything's looking good. Now, this is what I've been building towards. I am planning to collect the entire series of Pokemon because there is a collection from Viz Media called the Complete Collection. I didn't know about this. My wife and I are massive Pokemon fans, and I had no idea about this. It's been on the market since it started. That was in 2014, I think. So I've been collecting these for the past month. And I've got 3 seasons right now, and there are 15 to collect. So as you can imagine, these box sets are going to take forever to collect. They're all on eBay. They are all Region 1, so I have to import them. So they're not cheap, and that's without the customs charges. So I predict this is going to take me around 6 months to collect. Like I said, I have 3, and there are 15 to collect, all the way up to from Indigo League to Rival Destinies. So I predict this is going to take me 6 months, but for you people watching, it'll take about 15 seconds.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride, nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm running and I won't touch ground. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
Well, we're back. It's been about 4 months, and a lot has changed. Some was planned, some was absolutely not planned. Let's take a look, shall we? Now, the first thing that needs to be addressed is the new style I have. So for a while now, for many months actually, I liked the idea of having LED lights go around the VHS shelf and DVD shelves like a marquee, and I managed to get it done. These are LED strips from eBay. I forget how much they were, but you know, they said they were self-sticking, which I had no reason to doubt. So I bought 2 of them. And then when I got them here, I realized these are not self-sticking. These were a giant pain in the ass. So, I mean, maybe they are self-sticking. Maybe they stick perfectly fine to a metallic TV unit, but they were not made to stick to a wooden bookshelf. Now, in the dark, these look great. You'd hardly notice the glaring issues, like it's missing a corner here, and you wouldn't notice the rampant use of blue tack on here. But it had to be done to get them to actually stay on here. And the issue is the shelves aren't exactly level, so you get the bits that are hanging off the side there. Yeah, these things were a pain in the ass to hang up. They did not stick. They were just really flimsy as well. Because they had this weird blue bit that was sticking off the underside of it. I wasn't sure if that was meant to stay on or not. I left that on the DVD shelf. I didn't know what it was, because I've never hung up LED lights before. Not like this, anyway. So, yeah, I tried to unwrap it, and a couple of lights got damaged, like these two at the bottom here. These are meant to light up, but I know there's an issue. Oh god, I actually see a bit of light flickering in them. Holy shit, they actually sort of work a little bit. It's trying really hard to light up. So I think the circuitry got damaged with this. I'm not sure, but in the light it looks a little flimsy. But turn off the light briefly. This is what I get in the dark. It is really cool. We'll do the tour properly and then we'll have another look at this. Back to that side. We're going to start with the Recordable collection. We'll work our way over. So yeah, you know most of these. These are the Recordable tapes that I used from the late 90s to the early 2000s. Tape loads of stuff on them. I treasure these. See, some people, when they pick their favourite VHS tapes, they pick from an official retail tape, but I'd say my two favourites are these two. From Cartoon Network from summer 2005. They were that was the peak of Cartoon Network, I believe. And sometimes when I'm just feeling nostalgic, I either go to YouTube to find old Cartoon Network things or old Disney Channel things, or I go straight to here. I mean, most of the time, like if I'm in the mood to watch, I don't know, that Chelsea Building Society ad from 2003, I can find it on YouTube, or I have it on tape, which is handy. I also did something else with the Recordable collection, but we'll get to that when we get to the final shelf. So yeah, this top shelf is all the stuff from Recordable Phrase. I'm actually missing a tape. I'm missing tape 8, which I think was Bugs Bunny's 1001 Rabbit Tales, I think. Yeah, I numbered these, and then when I moved house, I noticed I was missing one. So I don't know, I'm missing that tape, but I still got the rest, and I'm happy with that. Tape 16 is, I think, yep, it's the Paramount one. Yeah, I showed that off. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to. Revise Wise I did nothing with. That's all shit copied from... This is something I really hated that I did when I was a kid. I used to copy DVDs onto VHS, and I hate that I did that. It's just a waste of VHS tape, I swear. Blank. See, and there again, copied from DVDs. It'll be those ones there, I think. We'll get to them soon. Yeah, stuff. Old Life with Mikey. The Sky Movies clips I posted, they're from this. I like the movie. I recorded it on Sky Movies. Which one's this? I think this is... Yeah, this is a Lilo and Stitch one. I love the show. Which one's the Timon and Pumbaa one? Nope, that's the erased one. Nope. Which one is it? Oh, there it is. Timon and Pumbaa Toon Disney. I think this was the last thing I did for... Oh, no, wait. It was... I featured this in subscription TV and Video Memories, and then I posted a bit of this. So yeah, the Recordable collection, probably my favourite part of the VHS collection, even specifically for just like the first 5 or 6 of these. It's all good stuff. The Universal Monsters, I bought these for Video Memories. It started out with just these 3, Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Mummy. These were in a triple pack for £20, I think. And honestly, it'd be cool to just own these just for the artwork. And I think there's about 20 of these in the UK format. Hang on a minute. That's 10 of them. Right. One of these tapes has all 20 tapes. Give us a sec. Yep, here we go. The next VHS case, sure enough, it has them all. See, I would love to own every single one of these, just for the artwork, because they look amazing. I mean, look at this. You never get home media artwork that looks this good. So I would say in terms of artwork, probably the Universal Monsters is the best I own. It's all good stuff. Would help if I put this back first. Oh, shit. There we go. The wonders of editing. Moving down. Now, this is the duplicate section. Things have definitely changed here. The holiday planners are still here. These are the only two that haven't moved. Chad Valley Video, I mean, the Toms and Friends videos had to go somewhere, and I figured this was close enough to a promo that it would fit here. On the Right Track is one of those I didn't know what to do with it. Because it doesn't really belong up here with the rest of them. So that's... I'd figured it's close enough. I'll just put it here. Billy Connolly 2 Bites. This is the one I mentioned earlier. It's got the broken lid. I still don't know what I did with that. All this is the same as earlier. I'll let you expand on something. So when I first gathered my VHS collection... about 6 years ago or something, I can't remember. I thought I was missing my original copy of Mewtwo Returns. Because if you look in the Video Memories episode for Pokemon, you'll notice it looked like I had 2 copies of Pokemon Forever. Because I had the case and then I had the VHS tape inside it. So, for some reason, I thought I owned 2 copies of Pokemon Forever. And then when, I think only a couple of months ago, I looked inside the case. Well, actually, let me backtrack a bit. I thought I was missing Mewtwo Returns, so I bought this. I can't remember when I bought this, but I just thought I needed a spare tape for this. So, I forget how this goes. I bought this... And then when I looked inside this case, just to see... I think it was when I was organising the duplicates. I wanted to check what to do with Pokemon Forever. So I look inside the case, and sure enough, this is what I find. My original Mewtwo Returns tape. Is this the original? No, I think that's the broken one. No, that's the new one. Hang on. I'm taking everything apart just now. Yeah, this is my original. It has a shattered glass bit that holds the tape reels. So that's my original. I put that up here because it's more damaged than the rest of them. So yeah, that was in Pokemon Forever, so I didn't even need to buy a second copy of Mewtwo Returns. Basically, I suck. Now we have to... Also, this is my original Singing Kettle Pirates copy. I would have had this on the shelf normally, but... You know, it's in terrible shape. You saw it in Video Memories, so I'm putting that here. But that is, as far as I know, the first VHS tape I ever owned. And now, I left off one. We got to talk about this. This is a taste of Cartoon Network. This is a promo tape released just before Cartoon Network launched in... mid-1992, I think they released this. It's a 1-hour compilation tape featuring early bumpers and shit from the original Cartoon Network style with a few classic cartoons. I showed this at the beginning of the Cartoon Network edition of GT, and then I mentioned this in the last episode of Video Memories, and I thought I wouldn't have the money for this because it costs more than almost everything in my collection has ever cost. But then I saw a decently cheap version of this on eBay, and I had the money. I thought, you know what, I have to have it. So, counting everything that's in here, in the VHS section anyway, this is probably the holy grail in my entire collection. I'm a Cartoon Network fan. I had to own this, and I'm glad I do. But there's one issue with this. Now, anyone who has ever imported a VHS tape from another country... Oh, fuck. Now, anyone who has imported a VHS tape from another country will probably know that NTSC tapes are projected at a different speed from PAL tapes that are used here in the UK. So there is a possibility this won't work in my main VCR. Because I've never imported an NTSC tape before, so... Will it work? There's only one way to find out. So I'd like to take note, I have owned this for a couple of weeks now as of recording this, but I haven't actually tried it yet. Because I thought we could do it together. You know, it looks more normal than the Holiday Planner videos, because it actually has a proper logo on it, and you can see the tape reels and such. But this is what the Holiday Planner looks like. It's bizarre. Anyway, is my regular VCR NTSC compatible? Let's see. Okay, I mean, so far so good. Oh, it's nerve-wracking, isn't it? Oh my god, it actually works! Nice. The lights are going to be making this hell, by the way. This Cartoon Network promotional sample is strictly for promotional use. Well, I'm promoting it. I'm promoting my entire collection, so I can get away with it.
And only 24-hour Cartoon Network. Why, if you had the Cartoon Network, you could have breakfast each morning with Bernie Bernard in the Morning Crew. 4 hours of your favorite tune stars, like Hug Mound, Quick Draw, Adam Ant, and Wally Gator. And then do lunch with the Smurfs, Tom and Jerry, and Goofy. There's also a superhero afternoon snack to tide you over until you sit down to dinner with the first families of the Cartoon Network, the Flintstones and Jetsons. And if you haven't had a banana split for dessert yet, fill up on Bugs and Daffy tonight and settle your late-night appetites with Toonheads, a unique blend of the bizarre and unusual. Imagine 24 hours of your favorite Toon stars for you and your whole family. As you watch this video, remember, it's only a taste of what you'd see if you had the Cartoon Network. So contact your local cable operator and ask them to add the Cartoon Network to your basic cable lineup.
That is awesome. This thing is NTSC compatible. I had no idea. I've owned this thing for more than 2 decades. I had no idea it was compatible. Brilliant. Right, let's continue, shall we? Well, that was fabulous. Being brutally honest, I didn't expect this to work, at least not on that VCR. Because I was looking at the front of it while we were watching that clip. I don't see anything about it being NTSC compatible, so hey, it worked. One thing I forgot to mention, we've got a few miscellaneous things here. We've got a Billy Connolly case. I lost the VHS tape for that years ago, so that's here. This is just sort of the whatever shelf. We got Model Railways. That was up there before Taste of Cartoon Network took its place. I just didn't know what to do with this. There's no real promotions. It's literally just clips of people and their Model Railways from, I believe, 1995, if I can find the date on it. I mean, truth be told, I may have Googled it, so that's there. Pokemon the first movie. Now, a while back, I did a test on the VHS collection for copy protection. So I was basically copying every single VHS tape I own to a DVD, a recordable DVD, to see which ones had copy protection and which ones didn't. I did a video on that. You can find it. I made fun of Chad Valley video for that because you know, it's what I do. And then, when it came turn for Pokemon the first movie, I was doing them all in alphabetical order. Something happened with this cassette while I was testing it. It may look normal just now, but if you open up the tape reels, the tape reels actually snapped because I was jumping between VHS tapes quite rapidly. So yeah, the VHS tape, the VCR wasn't too happy with me constantly jumping between cassettes, and yeah, this one got chewed up. My original copy as well. Ah, well. Actually, a similar fate happened to my original copy of Toy Story. I don't know when this happened, but you can see it looks all fine there, but underneath the actual lid, it got worse than this. Actually, there's no tape here whatsoever. So at some point in the past 15-20 years, the tape reels actually snapped and slid back into inside the cassette. I have no idea what happened here. I showed this in the Toy Story episode of Video Memories. I have no idea what happened, and it's even worse. There's a damaged screw in here. If I can get it in the right light. Come on, lights. Help me out here. Yes, there's a damaged screw in there, which the lights are not helping me with. So I can't even open the cassette shell to check what it was. So basically this shelf is either for rejects or broken cassettes. I have no real name for this section, so whatever. I've also got Shadow and Tom here. They're guarding a set of recordable DVDs and a couple of PS4 games. And yet, I have 3 cases for Grand Theft Auto 5. You can't see back there because it's dark. But there's 2 back there, and there is 1 here. Story about that is I had one of my discs broke. I gave the second one to a friend of my wife, and I have the 3rd one. So it's fabulous. Something else about Shadow and Tom. These are... I've adapted something for all these shelves called Shelf Guardians. They guard everything for a particular shelf. So Shadow and Tom are guarding PS4 games, discs, duplicate VHS tapes, the Universal Monsters, the recordable tapes, and my book collection. So, quick look at this before we move on. I have a comic collection, very small. I've got Pokemon. Which one do we have in here? Sonic. These ones I bought for the Sonic episode for GT. It was to illustrate a story about a Sonic comic strip I read in the 90s about an old Sonic who came back from the future, and then turns out he was working for Robotnik. It's all in the video. I also have... Oh yeah, this is something else I've been buying, because, trust me, I buy these. Cartoon Network magazines. Another Video Memories reference, I talked about this in Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, I think. It was either Cyber Chase or Zombie Island. It may have been Zombie Island, actually. So I saw a few of these on eBay, so, I couldn't help myself. These were really, really cool. See, if there's something that can give you a nostalgic trip that isn't a VHS tape, comic books do it really well. I mean, this one, for example, it's from August 2005. It shows Life and Times of Juniper Lee, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's all really cool stuff in here. Next issue of Cartoon Network magazine, Jarlin Showdown. It's a show I never watched, but I think I've got a couple of episodes on VHS from 2005. I don't know if the VHS tapes actually caught them. You get comic books, all this cool stuff. You get promotional stuff from anything they're promoting, like Willy Wonka, obviously. Cow and Chicken's in here. reviews of DVDs and video games, all that cool stuff. Actually, on that note, it also comes with a few comics, a couple of posters, actually. I've got Scooby-Doo, the Batman, and Johnny Bravo. I think Johnny Bravo's the oldest. I bought a comic that's from 1999, and there's a minor rip in it, but, you know, I couldn't throw a good poster away. So, yeah, I've got those three. I might as well show my posters while I'm here. I've got Sonic Boom, and my wife bought that for me at a convention once. It's blueprints for the DeLorean from Back to the Future. I've got something from Grand Theft Auto. It's a map of Los Santos. I've got a leaflet from Ringo's tour from European tour from 2011. I saw him on that tour twice, and I had to have it. This is a poster for Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. It was in one of my Pokemon magazines. I never actually took the poster out, and I figured, why the hell not? For my second copy of Pokemon the first movie, the one that isn't broken, this poster came with it for Pokemon 2000. Didn't expect it to be in there, but there we go. We've got a poster of Shrek. That is an old poster I had in my old house when I lived with my parents. So I had to have that. Got one more to check. The George Carlin Commemorative Collection. I showed that off in Video Memories, obviously. This is a poster of New York. I think I probably got that in 2005 or 2007, I think. We've got another set of posters. I'll come back to them eventually. And of course, in my house, I have to have a Back to the Future poster or two. I've got all three of them here. Same seller. He actually gave me these at a discount. I think it was like three for the price of two or something. So got these. These look very good. So I'm happy with that. Anyway, back to the books. Now, these books used to be a lot more organised. I had them all in alphabetical order, but then my wife saw it and think, why are they organised like this? Put them in order of size. So yeah, I've got a book on Disney, the Encyclopedia of Monsters. A very interesting book that is. It's a very old book, very rare as well, but you have a browse through this. It has like every monster from every movie until like 2000, I think. Yeah, it has like their appearance, their species, their size, all that fabulous stuff. There's an example. Scroll through this. That's the H's. Oh, here we go. Here's Godzilla. I mean, I had him. Oh, it's Gigantus. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Where's Godzilla? There he is. So yeah, you get his name, his species, his size, features and powers, biography. Really cool posters. So yeah, it's a nifty book if you're into horror movies and monsters. I've got a set of Harry Potter. I don't read them much anymore. The Big Beastly Book of Bart Simpson. I've owned that for close to 15 years, I think. Used to read it in high school. Really cool. Universal Horrors. This is another thing on horror movies. I bought this about 6 months ago, I think. It's about the Universal monsters. Well, specifically about Universal Studios and what they did in the golden age of horror with Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney, all those movies. Basically, any movie they made that's horror-related from 1931 to 1936. This was another hard one to find, but, you know, I love the Universal monsters, so I figured I'd get this. I'm happy with that. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I have read it, and it's terrible. What is this? I think this is a trainer guide from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. That is an old thing. This is really old. This is like a book adaptation of... a non-manga adaptation of Pokemon Red, I think. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Oh god, it's the original screenplay. I have seen the Fantastic Beasts movies. The first one was decent. The other two were god-awful. George Carlin's Last Words. This is his autobiography that was released after he died. It was a great read. I have an audiobook as well, so that's really cool. George Carlin, a 3 times Carlin, an orgy of George. This is probably my favorite book I own. I love listening to this on audiobook. It's terrific. Then there's not much here. There's one about building of the road bridge, unimportant, and a couple of Pokemon books. So yeah, my wife wanted to organize these by height, and whatever. At least if I know if I'm looking for a book, it should be easy to find just from the spine. So whatever. Listen to your wife. She probably knows best. Finally, we move on to the VHS collection. Not much has changed. I don't think anything's changed really since last time. I have Aladdin, which, like I said earlier, it's a great movie, but I never owned it on VHS. Oh, by the way, speaking of all this, I no longer have to buy Disney movies ever. There's something on that thing peeking out on the end shelf. We'll get to that. It's fabulous. But I never need to buy Disney ever again. So 101 Dalmatians, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, bother for video memories. So sometimes that's a way to test my memory is which VHS tapes have I covered for video memories and which ones I haven't. And usually I do quite well. Animaniacs and blah, 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 blah. There's not much to say with most of these. The Aristocats, one of the first Disney movies I ever owned. Maybe the first overall. Still a fantastic movie that puts a smile on my face. It's incredibly racist in places, but I love it. Around the World with Timon and Pumbaa. I think that's still one of my top 10 video memories episodes I ever made. Great watch. Billy Connolly. Every single Billy Connolly release here, my dad gave to me when I was about 8 or 9, something in there. He just asked me if I wanted all of these. And, being a dumb kid who liked people who swear, I'll take it. These are all really good. That one there is probably the funniest show he ever did, but I love watching the World Tour of Scotland. It's all good stuff. Birthday Cartoon Collection, one of the oldest VHS tapes in my collection, at least the ones I owned back when I was a kid. The weird thing is, compared to something like Tom and Jerry, I don't think I watched this one that much. It's a good release. It was a charity release as well, if you've seen the review I did of it. Bug Alert, that is a severe drug trip. It was special. Bugs Bunny's Easter Funnies, oh man. I remember being so excited to review this in Video Memories, and then I watched it and realized it was awful, and I was like, oh, this sucks. I remember when I got this, actually, I got a second one called Daffy Duck's Exciting Adventure or something. I can't remember. It was a TV special that aired in the 1980s, I think. It's basically just Daffy Duck hosting 3 new Easter shorts. I own it on DVD now. Over there. It's whatever. It's not great. It's not memorable, but it's better than this, but not by much. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. This was a thing. It was a spin-off. It was the first spin-off. I haven't seen Lightyear yet. I will. My friends hate it. I'll get to that. I mean, I hated Toy Story 4, so as long as it's better than that, I'm happy. We have the Cartoon Network range. They're all here. As you can gather, still couldn't get Yogi Bear, but, I don't care at this point. Actually, I think I said in the last Video Memories episode when I reviewed these, I said it was easier to find a PS5 than it was to find Yogi Bear. Well, slight tangent here. It was easier to find 2 PS5s than find that one VHS tape of Yogi Bear. We'll get to that as we work our way across. Cats and Dogs, children's cartoon favourites, owned this as a kid. Didn't really like it all that much then, don't like it now. Christmas Looney Tunes, still a fabulous compilation. Probably one of the better Looney Tunes releases I own. Daffy Duck's Fantastic Island. Yeah, it's decent. Dexter's Laboratory Ego Trip. I reviewed a lot here. Just in this one lineup. I think the only one I didn't do is Cats and Dogs. At least up until Fantasia. Emperor's New Groove, still one of the funniest movies Disney ever made. close to the peak of decent Disney movies. Fantasia. I think I've only ever seen this like 2 or 3 times in my life. The last I maybe watched it once or twice as a kid, didn't like it, and then I didn't watch it again until I did the review. It's a good movie. It's artistically well done, but I don't really see kids being won over by this. Because there's no real story narrative. It's just Leopold Stokowski conducting an orchestra with some very weird animation bits thrown in. Fox and the Hound, Help, It's the Hair Bear Bunch, Home Alone 2... Hercules. My wife loves this movie. I thought it was all right. The oddball in this entire lineup is Ice Age. I don't know why the case is this small, but it's there. 10 in a bed. Previously, the most expensive VHS tape I ever bought until I bought something else. Johnny English, good spoof movie. Jungle Book. It's weird how I never reviewed this, probably because I didn't have much to say, but good movie. One of the first VHS tapes I think my grandparents had. It was that, the Aristocats, Lady and the Tramp, all them. At least when it comes to Disney. Jungle Cubs, Born to be Wild, reviewed it. Good watch. Decent spin-off, at least. Lady and the Tramp. I haven't watched this one in ages. But it's a thing. The live-action movie was good, gave out a run for its money. Lady and the Tramp 2, this is a movie most people don't talk about. Lion King, still one of my favourites. I maintain this probably is my favourite VHS tape, commercial-wise. Like, when it comes to retail, this is probably still my favourite. Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. Used to love it as a kid, but these days, I still like it, but it's not on the level of this, obviously. Whenever you get a direct-to-video spin-off, a direct-to-video sequel, it's never as good as like the high-budget theatrical releases. I mean, there's only so much you can do with a smaller budget, really. Looney, Bugs Bunny movie. Never reviewed this. Never really occurred to me, really, to review that. Looney Tunes Special Bumper Collection. Now, I've mentioned this story before, but I like to talk about it again. When I buy something for the VHS collection, when I was doing video memories, normally I'd like to only buy something if I was doing a review of it, like Animaniacs. Owned this as a kid, lost the original release, so I decided to buy it again for video memories. Great release. But this was the first time I broke that rule. I bought this just to see if it was as good as I remember, because I remember loving this double pack when I was a kid. And there was a story in there where I didn't recognize the first tape in this double pack, and then I was reminded of a terrible habit of mine where I put all my VHS tapes in random cases. For some reason, it didn't bother me back then. I mean, obviously, I hate the very idea of it now, because suppose you want to go watch Emperor's New Groove, and inside that you have, I don't know, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. For a kid, I guess it wouldn't be a bother. But as an adult, that's just awful. So, ironically, considering I didn't actually buy it to do a review, I had a story for it. So I made use of that. The new Magic Roundabout. I couldn't get any info on the VHS tape. There's nothing on here that says what it contains, but honestly, it's still one of my favourite reviews I ever did, and it's a shame it doesn't get enough attention, so go watch that one. Just go watch anything that's Cartoon Network related. I feel like those are my best. I mean, apart from something like the Disney Holiday Planner, that's still one of my favourites ever. Matilda, watched that recently. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, Muppet Christmas Carol, good Christmas movie. Oliver and Company, Peter Pan, Pink Panther, Pink and Away, the Pink Panther, yep. Pinky's Big Video, bought this as a shelf filler. I think last time I messed with the collection, I bought this. Terrific release. It's surprisingly the best filler episode I ever made. I remember showing my wife why Pingu pissing on the floor when he couldn't reach the toilet. My wife's only comment was, "Why is it orange?" Pinocchio, good movie. Actually, the funny thing is, a while back, I did an inventory on which movies I owned the most copies of that weren't Back to the Future. And the surprising thing, the movie I own the most copies of that isn't Back to the Future, it's Pinocchio. I mean, just a quick recap. I own it. I taped it from TV in December 1999. I own an official VHS copy of it. I copied the original VHS recording onto a DVD. I own the 70th anniversary Platinum Edition on commercial DVD. And I own the movie on Blu-ray. Now, I won't spoil what the rest of this collection is, the one that actually features the Blu-ray. Believe me, we'll get to that, and it's fabulous. But the movie I own the most copies of, it's Pinocchio, of all things. I mean, no real complaints from me. Pokemon on VHS. This is another shelf filler. Mystery of Mount Moon. I owned all 11 volumes apart from this. I have no idea what happened to my original copy. The Amazon seller listed this as good quality. I think it was either that or acceptable. I put it in the VCR, and the quality is god-awful, practically unwatchable. So, I was not impressed. Got them. I got the first movie, which I mentioned, Pokemon 2000. That is my original copy. Mewtwo Returns, all good, forever. Postman Pat's Big Video, another review I did. It was all right. My favourite VHS tape I had at my grandparents' house. This is another video that got butchered when I did the copy protection video. Yeah, there's a small section of this. It didn't break the tape, but it did get chewed up a little bit. So, yeah, it's a shame. Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, Legend of the Vampire, Monster of Mexico, Zombie Island, Shrek, my Singing Kettle collection. I still find it weird how I did so many Singing Kettle reviews, and this is all I have on VHS. All that's fine. The Singing Kettle Pirates duplicate. The original Christmas Party in god-awful condition. World Tour. World Tour is probably the oldest Singing Kettle release I own. I mean, Christmas Crackers came out before it. I'm pretty sure I owned World Tour before it. I mean, technically, if you're being technical, Singing Kettle Pirates is my oldest in the collection, but whatever. Silly Circus, this is the only one I didn't review because there's not much to say about it. Space Jam, I used this to build the new shelf. Well, I tried to. So it turns out VHS cases do not make good hammers. Who could have seen that coming? Stuart Little Time Machine. Now then, as you saw earlier, all on one shelf. Troublesome Trucks, the first review I ever did, and the first Thomas VHS tape I owned. Obviously not this one. I had to buy this on eBay because my other one broke decades ago. Percy and the Signal, Good for Imagination, Trust Thomas. This is not the tape I was meant to buy, but whatever. I still made the review. There are bits that are in awful quality, which is surprising because I've owned this since the mid-90s. Almost over 25 years now, and this still looks great. This still runs perfectly. Thomas Gets Bumped, got this from my cousin. Well, I say I got it, but in reality I just stole it. Thompson Stepney, had nothing to say for this one. Story and Song Collection, I actually owned two of these as a kid. I had one here and one at my grandmother's house. I liked it that much. Minivid and My Little Thomas and Friends, good for killing 20 minutes. I just realised when I was preparing for this just how patronising the spine of Minivid is. 4 whole stories on one treat-sized tape. As a 29-year-old, I feel patronised. Chases, Races and Runaways, easily the best Thomas and Friends release ever released, obviously. I mean, honestly, ask any Thomas and Friends fan in the UK what is the best, and they'll either say something from season 5 or more likely Chases, Races and Runaways. It easily has the best artwork in the entire series. Biggest party video ever, it's alright. As I mentioned, this is the video that inspired the rating system in Video Memories, and it's the best 1 out of 5 I ever gave. The original Adventures, complete season 1. I still remember the day I bought this. That was a special day. My grandmother took me to buy it, and I never looked back. I'm happy I own that. Spooks and Surprises, I remember the day Asda was promoting this. I'm basically repeating stories from Video Memories now. Yeah, that was fun. I think I got that Christmas 1998. Happy Holidays, Rescues on the Railways, the complete 3rd series, tossed it across my house once, and then when I did Farewell Thomas, it actually came in handy. So every VHS tape here has served a purpose. Fun time favourites, had this at my mother's parents' house, my grandparents, and it was better than the other Thomas and Friends video they had. Children's preschool compilation, I believe it was called. Which technically wasn't really a Thomas video, I just had 1 episode, and yeah, that's the thing. Peep Peep Party, it's whatever. Magic Railroad, I remember showing my wife this to show her what I thought was Mara Wilson's low point, and not only was it really entertaining because of Diesel 10, but from what I've heard, it was one of her favourite movies she's ever done, between that and Matilda, so yay. Yeah, this is a thing. Sean owned too many copies of this. I don't know if he still does. Thomas and Friends Bumper Collection, Seasonal Scrapes, whatever. The Fogman, the Chocolate Crunch, not Percy's Chocolate Crunch, just the Chocolate Crunch. And Brave Little Engines, the last Thomas and Friends release I ever bought on VHS. Well, pre-Video Memories anyway. Final shelf, we got Tom and Jerry's Bad Day at Cat Rock. First Tom and Jerry release I ever owned, and first one I ever reviewed. And then I reviewed the rest of them. Was it 2020 or 2021 I reviewed these? It was 21. It was 21. I remember I was wrapping up the series, and I figured, you know, I got to do the rest of them. These 4 are fabulous. The first 4 volumes, they are incredible. The new Toy Story copy I have, this one actually works. I mean, I own it on DVD, but I wanted to own it on VHS as well, because I would feel incomplete otherwise. My favourite animated movie of all time, Toy Story 2. Tweety's High Flying Adventure, taping it from Boomerang wasn't enough. The case is giant. And this is Knuckles. Like I said with Shadow and Tom, I have shelf guardians guarding each shelf, and Knuckles, he's guarding the VHS shelf. As you can tell from his hand, that's on top of a case of blank DVD cases. He guards it as well as he guards a mythical emerald, which I don't think he does that well. Yeah, well, he's fabulous. I got him from Build-A-Bear. He is awesome. I love Knuckles. Quick update, because I forgot to mention this. The laptop I showed off earlier, yep, this giant one, I managed to actually get it to work. It took an ungodly amount of patience. It is not working right now. The battery's probably dead. But I did manage to get it working. I got it to... I mean, I spent a fair few days on this, just stubbornly holding the restart button and hoping something would show up. I mean, look at the screen here. This is all completely cracked, but I did manage to get it on without it freezing. And as soon as I saw it was working, I hooked up an external hard drive. It'd be one of these, I think. It's probably this one. And then there wasn't actually much on here that I could grab. So I grabbed every video file I could find. There was stuff relating to Cartoon Network. There was a few Thompson Friends things. And there were some old videos that I made in 2007 and 2008. So I grabbed them while I had the chance, quickly stick everything on, and a laptop this size, it took forever to transfer everything. So I got about halfway through the transfer before the thing crashed again, and I got what I could. Any video I found worthy or interesting, I managed to re-upload, which is awesome. And there were some videos that were either not interesting, really bad quality, or just duplicates of what I already have. So I didn't save them. And I think I pushed the laptop to its absolute limit. It won't turn on anymore. And even when it was fully charged, it's just not cooperating. It had its chance. I had my chance with it, and yeah, this didn't work. Oh well. Moving along, now we can talk about my TV setup. So yeah, I've got my TV here. I've been wanting to upgrade to a bigger TV that can play 4K, but obviously I don't have room, and I'm not moving these shelves again, so I'll make do. I have a PlayStation 5. The digital one you saw at the beginning of the Cartoon Network range, my wife has that. She wanted the PS5 first, and she was hell bent on it being digital. So yeah, I got that, and then that was about 8 months ago. I managed to get that. Easier than finding Yogi Bear. And then this was about a month or two ago. I really wanted to get mine. I had money, and I was hell bent on finding one by the end of the year. And less than a month later, I have it. I own the disc version, which, I mean, honestly, if I got a digital version, I'd be a complete idiot, because I need something to play all this. Well, obviously not this, because this doesn't fit in here. Yeah, so something for the DVD collection, I have that. I have a Nintendo Switch. I bought this a couple of years back. I'm not going to play with the Joy-Cons, because the Joy-Cons are god-awful. I try and avoid these as much as I can. These are probably the worst controllers I've ever used for any gaming system ever. So when I play my Switch, this is my controller of choice. It's Jigglypuff. So this is basically a Switch controller and a GameCube controller hybrid. I bought it on Amazon, I think. Oh no, I bought it on eBay. I thought it was like a third-party controller, and it works really well. And then I found out it's an actual licensed controller from Nintendo, so yay. So I'm happy I own this. This is my controller of choice when it comes to using the Switch, and yeah, there you go. VHS VCR. I struggled with the word VCR there. This is a Proline VR 510. If that means anything to anyone. It only lists PAL, oddly enough. Despite the fact that, as we saw earlier, this thing can play NTSC tapes. My family's owned this since 1999. I remember seeing this in my mother's bedroom before the turn of the millennium. I quote-unquote borrowed this in 2007, and it's been mine ever since. So this VCR is at least 22 years old. Its manufactured year is 1999. And it still works. I haven't cleaned it or anything, so that's fabulous. I'm just impressed that it does work. DVD player. This is a new DVD player I bought at the beginning of this year, 2022. It's to copy the VHS collection onto DVD. I mean, it's an alright player. This wasn't the first one I bought. I tried to use a VCR DVD hybrid, but that thing was just too confusing to use, so I couldn't get it to work, so I returned it. And then I bought this. This is a Panasonic DMR ES15. I mean, it's I mean, it's an okay player. The one I don't particularly like the controller it came with, but if I'm going to be watching a DVD, my main plan is to watch it on the PS5. The only reason I'm going to be using this is if I'm recording something from VHS, or I have something that's region 1. And at that point, it gets the job done. It's fine. This is my capture cable for when I record footage from the VCR or DVD. Basically, the VCR is connected by SCART to the DVD player, which is then hooked up to the TV. And then I have this thing coming out of the RCA port, the composite port on the back of the DVD player, which I'm surprised was there. So now I can capture footage and watch it at the same time, which is fabulous. So yeah, that's the thing. And down here, we've got some spare recordable DVDs. I bought a lot of these to make use of. Leftover blue tack from when I hung these fucking lights up. Yeah, all that. I have a controller holster. I tried to mount holsters on the DVD shelf to get it to hold my controllers. I have something about that, actually. The power supplies. One of these cables is hooked up to... This is where the LED lights get their power, from 2 USB ports on 2 sets of extension outlets. Yeah, it's handy. They're powered by USB. On that note, I have one controller holster that actually remains upright. These are the controllers that power the LED lights. But for one thing, they were a pain in the ass to try and get to work. They take watch batteries. These things are a pain in the ass to open. There's the battery slot there. They were temperamental. I mean, one remote can control them both. Hang on. I have to get down low to operate this. What should I do? I'll do blue. Actually, I'll do green. That's a terrible green. There we go. Got it to red. One remote can handle both lights because same manufacturer. I have to get all the way down here to operate them if I use the remote. Boop. So yeah, those remotes suck. But one handy thing about these lights are they're Bluetooth. So I have an app in my phone that I use primarily for this. I used that before I managed to work out how to actually get the remotes to work. So, I mean, yeah, the remotes work now, but if I have the Bluetooth app, I'm just going to use that. Now, let's talk DVDs. Yeah, a fair bit of this is the same 101 Dalmatians I now own. Well, I owned before. 22 Jump Street, 4-Year-Old Virgin. Fish Called Wanda, one of my top 10 movies of all time. I own 2 of these. The other one is right there. Probably my favorite British film of all time. Million Ways to Die in the West. My wife loves this. It's all right. It's entertaining. Fab, Ace Ventura, American Pie, both Anchorman movies. Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie. Bought this when it came out. It's all right. It's watchable. My wife enjoys it. Then again, my wife likes low budget, really dumb movies, so that's fine. Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. It's in Portuguese because I bought it in Portugal. I got the first 2 Austin Powers, Bad Boys. The Bank Job used to be a lot lower down on the shelf, but then I finally actually moved it because it technically begins with a B. Bewitched, Beetlejuice, Big Lebowski. My mother and I love that movie. Big Billy Madison, Blades of Glory, Blues Brothers, both of them. Butterfly Effect, Cars, underrated movie as far as I'm concerned. I will defend this movie until my dying day. I actually really like Cars. I mean, it's basically ripping off another movie, which I own here, Doc Hollywood, but... Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you watch Doc Hollywood, you'll know for a fact it is ripping off the movie. I love how you can see the reflection of the lights in this. Sometimes if I'm taking a photo of a DVD case and I can get the lights shining perfectly in it. I love that. Caveman with Ringo. A really stupid movie. I haven't watched it in years. Clue, Tim Curry's best movie as far as I'm concerned. Con Air with Nicolas Cage, Cop Out with Bruce Willis, Crank, Date Night, Daddy's Home, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, Deadpool, Deja Vu, Die Another Day, the Die Hard movies. I need to replace this because this is missing a disc. I watched Die Hard 1 and 2 every year at Christmas. To wait till a couple of years back, actually, to know that Die Hard with a Vengeance isn't really a Christmas movie. They acknowledge it once, but there's nothing to really say it's at Christmas. Die Hard 4, I hate that movie. A Good Day to Die Hard, I dislike that one a little less. Dirty Grandpa, dumb movie, Doc Hollywood I mentioned. Dodgeball. The Dream Team. Good movie, fun movie with Michael Keaton and Christopher Lloyd. That's how I found the movie, actually, because Christopher Lloyd was in it. I just knew him from Back to the Future, and it was on Sky anytime, so yeah, I have that. DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp, not watched that in ages. Dukes of Hazzard, I used to think this was an amazing movie, and it's not, it's terrible. Edward Scissorhands, my favourite Johnny Depp movie. Elf, Evan Almighty, Face Off. I've got the Fast and Furious movies. Those are the good ones. Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. Decent spin-off. My wife loves it. Fast and Furious 9. Oh boy. This was a major letdown, this movie. I saw Fate of the Furious when that came out. That was fabulous. I still love that movie. And then when Fast and Furious 9 came out, it was the most boring thing ever. And this actually might be the first time I actually regret buying a DVD. It's the completionist in me. I wanted to own this to give the movie another chance. I didn't even finish it when I rewatched it. So, yeah, this movie sucks and I regret buying it. Another thing about Fast 9 I hate is it has the worst DVD menu I have ever seen. So if you've seen Video Memories, you'll know about my preferences for DVD presentation, especially when it comes to the menus. And I hate menus that have a stock background and generic icons to illustrate menu choices like play movie, scene selection, audio options, special features, and all them. Fast and Furious 9 takes the cake. This is the absolute worst. For one thing, we've got the very bland icons to illustrate what the menu options. We have the most generic background possible for the movie. It's on every piece of promotional artwork for the movie. If you've seen any kind of promotional artwork for Fast and Furious 9, this is it. It's this background with the main characters behind coloured smoke. Another weird thing that's even here is it's a very low resolution especially for DVD, and even weirder, it's off center. I've never seen this with a DVD menu before, and God, as if the movie didn't suck enough. You got this to contend with. Finding Nemo, much better movie. This has also got the best DVD menu of anything I've ever seen. It's got personality out the ass. When you look at this movie, because you've got the DVD introductions with the director and the co-director, where they make a big deal of them being at Pixar, and they drag John Lasseter in. And then the audio commentary is easily the best commentary I've ever seen for any movie ever. It's fabulous. Finding Dory, good movie. The Frighteners, good. Garfield, decent. Bill Murray made a good Garfield, despite what he would say. Ghost, I remember seeing this a while back and thinking it was really good. Haven't watched it since, so yeah, there we go. Gremlins, this is my wife's all-time favourite movie. And I think when I moved in at this house, I found this in a spare pack of DVDs I was going through to decide what to keep, and I found this in there and asked my wife if she wanted it. It turns out she already had a pack, so I have both Gremlins movies, and now they're making a third one. If it has animatronics, my wife will be super happy. Groundhog Day, my second favourite movie of all time. Happy Gilmore, good movie. The Hard Way with James Woods, good movie. Harry Brown. The Harry Potter movies, which... Oh man, I grew up on these movies. I grew up on the books as well. But honestly, the more I look at the more I listen to or I read the books, and the more I watch the movies, I realize none of these movies are actually that good. Most of them are pretty bad. So yeah, but I figured I had to own them just in case. It's the Harry Potter fan in me. I had to own these. I don't particularly like any of them, but I had to have it. I'd rather have them than Fast and Furious 9. I don't own the Fantastic Beasts movies because, like I said over there, I thought the first one was decent, and then Crimes of Grindelwald and Secrets of Dumbledore were both atrocious messes, which I will happily never watch again. So there we go. Crimes of Grindelwald might still be the worst movie I have ever seen, and Secrets of Dumbledore didn't help much, if at all. They were things. Holes I own. I saw this in high school for the first time. Good movie. Home Alone, gotta have that, especially at Christmas. The only mandatory one. But if you enjoyed that, you could probably enjoy Home Alone 2. This case is an atrocious mess. I don't know what happened. Home Alone 3, decent sequel, and not on level with the first two, but I figured you could get away with this. Home Alone 4 is probably my favourite guilty pleasure when it comes to movies. Well, apart from Tom and Jerry the movie. I would say this is second, because this movie's awful, but I like the awful dialogue in it. Horrible Bosses 1 and 2. Horns, a good Daniel Radcliffe movie. Horton Hears a Who. Hot Fuzz, the best Simon Pegg movie ever made. I Love You, Philip Morris with Jim Carrey and Ewan McGregor. Awesome. Ice Age 2, I own this one on DVD, £5, never opened it. I don't care for Ice Age too much. The In-Betweeners, I would say, if you're going to watch anything from The In-Betweeners, watch the first movie. I feel like that is held up better than the TV show, which is down there, which we'll get to. In Bruges with Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell. Awesome. The Incredibles, terrific Pixar movie. The Invention of Lion. I, Robot with Will Smith. Awesome. The Italian Job with Mark Wahlberg. My third favourite movie of all time. I like it more than I should. I used to watch this a lot when I was staying over at my dad's house. He's the one who introduced me to this, and I could never put it down. So I love the movie. I love it more than the original, which is probably blasphemous, but I'm going with it anyway. Jack Frost. My wife and I watch this occasionally at Christmas. It's not great, but it's harmless. Johnny English, I own that on DVD. You know my opinions there. Jungle Book 2. Killing Gunther. I think my wife and I found this on Netflix like a year or two ago. It's made by someone who was in Saturday Night Live a while back, and most of the budget went into getting Arnold Schwarzenegger for this, and it is the dumbest movie he has ever done, but it's a lot of fun. So I'm happy to own that. Kim Possible: A Stitch in Time. You know my opinions on Kim Possible, my favourite Disney show of all time. Yeah, fabulous. Kindergarten Cop. Dumb movie, but good. And apparently I've heard that this is Arnie's favourite movie he ever did. Okay. The Kingsman: The Secret Service. I've decided to watch that a couple of years back. It was surprisingly good, so I have that. Knocked Up. Yep. Lethal Weapon. The Lethal Weapon collection. No, it didn't say complete. And honestly, it can now because they're doing Lethal Finale. So hopefully that's good. I like Lethal Weapon. The first two are the best, and do what you want with the last two. Liar Liar with Jim Carrey, still haven't opened it. It's even weirder because the DVDs shine on... The DVDs reflect the LED lights quite well, but when you add plastic to it, it's even weirder. Lilo and Stitch, I would say when it comes to classic Disney movies, this is the last truly good one. Before you hit like a kind of road bump in the mid-2000s. I would say this is the end of the road for the trend of really good Disney movies. This is one of my top 5 Disney movies. And with that, I have Stitch the movie. I've owned this since 2004, I think. This is good. It sets up the TV show. Leroy and Stitch. This came out in 2006, and I remember being really excited for this when this was announced. I was on holiday at the time. And I think I got this in Gibraltar. It's in Spain, but I'm pretty sure it's British territory, so I was able to score this. So I'm happy with that. You got The Lion King 1, 2, and 3. Fabulous. Lion King 3 was okay. It's weird when I go back and watch that and I realize, A, how short it is, and B, how, for being a movie that takes place at the same time as the first one, it doesn't really fit that well. Especially with the way I could tell it doesn't match is with the hyenas. Because at the scene in Pride Rock when they're trying to they're trying to take back Pride Rock from Scar. The hyenas are meant to be chasing Simba, and then they're there to eat Scar. But at the same time they're doing that, they're meant to be chasing Timon and Pumbaa, where they get trapped in a giant tunnel. So it's a weird way to try and do it together. It's an entertaining movie, but it's not as good as the first two. Moving down, we got Looper. Thought it was good when I watched it. The time travel elements don't really work, but okay. Madagascar. The Magic Roundabout. Decent movie. I have the Marvel Cinematic Universe on Blu-ray. Yeah, I have that. So yeah, I own them on DVD, and I decided to upgrade to Blu-ray because if you're going to watch a Marvel movie, you might as well be in high def. So that's good. Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers. The lighting here is awful. Yeah, they're both good. Avoid the third one. Men in Black trilogy. The first one's the best. I don't own Men in Black International because it's mediocre and forgettable. Miracle on 34th Street. I used to own just the Richard Attenborough version from 1994, but then I think last Christmas I decided to give the original a go, and they're both really good. So I figured the best thing I could do is get a box set of them both, like a double pack. So yeah, I'm happy on that. This is a movie people often try and work out which is better, the original or the remake. And I'd say they're both really good. They're about even in my book. So I'm happy with that. Monsters, Inc., one of my all-time favourite Pixar movies. Monsters University, a prequel. Peabody and Sherman, decent movie. Go back to it occasionally. Mrs. Doubtfire, a family favourite. Almost everyone owns this. Terrific movie, actually. Probably my favourite Robin Williams movie. So that's cool. This is... I don't know if I showed this last time. It's a Bela Lugosi box set of 3 movies that aren't in the Universal Monsters. We've got Murders in the Rue Morgue, which is okay. And we got The Black Cat and the Raven. I actually own those on VHS over here. Once again, I just bought these for the artwork, so that's cool. And then you got The Raven. So that's awesome. I watch those occasionally. They're short movies as well. I mean, The Black Cat and the Raven are about an hour long, so if you're in the mood for a quick, cheap horror movie, there you go. Well, cheap, classic horror movie. My Boss's Daughter, we found this on Netflix. It's a really stupid movie, so why not own it? My Favorite Martian, saw this on Disney Channel early 2000s, decided to get it on DVD. Night at the Museum 1 and 3. I don't own 2. I don't like 2. So that's here. Non-Stop, a movie with Liam Neeson. Saw this in theaters. Really cool. I mean, honestly, most things that Liam Neeson's in is going to be good. So I have the other guys with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. Good movie. Over the Hedge, one of my favourite DreamWorks movies ever made. It doesn't beat Shrek, obviously, but that's there. Pink Panther with Steve Martin. I will defend his portrayal of Clouseau. I like it. There's Pinocchio as established. It's the Platinum Edition for the 70th anniversary. I remember when I owned this on VHS, it took me a while to realise I didn't own it on DVD. I may have copied it onto DVD first, onto the recordable DVD, but then I realised I didn't actually own the movie itself, so I own that, and then I bought the Blu-ray version, which we'll get to. Pocahontas is here. I used to own this on VHS, apparently. My mother says I didn't like it, which is weird, because it's awesome. The Producers is here. Yep. Ratatouille's here. Good Pixar movie. Really good. Rat Race, a really dumb movie. Entertaining as hell, though. Ready Player One, terrific sci-fi movie. That may have been the best movie of... When did this come out? 2018. Yeah, that was my movie of the year. Good reasons, obviously. Recess School's Out. Taped this from Disney Channel 2001, I think, and I taped over it for some reason, which is a shame. Red, it's an alright movie. The Ref, my wife and I watch this every Christmas with Dennis Leary. It's a really funny movie. RoboCop, my wife talked me into seeing this 8 years ago, I think, when this came out. And then I thought it was good, and then I rewatched the original, and the original is just so over the top. It's really cool, really fun. Run, Fat Boy, Run with Simon Pegg. Yep. The first two Santa Claus movies, gotta have these at Christmas. I don't particularly like the third one. And now they're doing a Disney Plus show with Tim Allen. So that's cool. The Saw franchise, I think it was in 2013 my wife decided to show me these. It was 7 movies, one every day. We watched one per day. So that was Saw, Saw 2, Saw 3, all of them. I don't know why I kept watching them. They were just that entertaining. And I remember being shocked in the first movie when I found out that the dead man in the middle of the bathroom floor, covered in blood, was the bad guy. I remember having a very loud reaction to that and gave my wife a laugh. Scary Movie 3.5, my wife got me this. I feel like the genre of spoof movies got... The sort of peaked with Spaceballs and Robin Hood and all the classic Mel Brooks movies, and then once they hit the 90s, it just went downhill from there. They try too hard. I think that's their issue. They're trying hard to be dumb. But if you look at a movie like Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, spoof movies are better when they're trying to be smart. Actually, I feel like you could push it to 1994 with the Naked Gun movies. Naked Gun 1, 2, 3. All 3 of those were good. I feel like that was the end of spoof movies. Secret Life of Pets. It's an alright movie. I saw it in theaters, bought it on DVD, didn't watch it. See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Speaking of Mel Brooks, Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, they witness a murder. One of them is deaf. Well, one of them's blind, and the other one is deaf, and they have to communicate with each other. And hilarity ensues. Carrying on, we have Shaun of the Dead, a terrific zombie movie, a really fun one. I own all 4 Shrek movies. The first 2 are the best, obviously. That's a no-brainer. The Simpsons movie. I used to own this on DVD, and then a while back I realised I should really own this. This is a terrific movie. It's one of my favourite animated movies of all time. So yeah, I own this, and I'm glad I own it. It's a fun movie. It's mandatory. It's obligatory, indubitably. Snakes on a Plane. I don't know why I own this. Probably because it's a really dumb movie. You could think my... Oh no, wait! I can't blame this on my wife. I saw this before I met her. I don't know how I found it. Probably because it was on TV. Yeah, I can't even blame it on Samuel Jackson being in Die Hard. I saw this before that, so I don't know how I found this. It probably was on TV. So I Married an Ex-Murderer. Good movie. It's Mike Myers pre-Wayne's World, I think. Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, I'm a Sonic fan, so I had to see this. I had to own it. Sonic 2 is coming out soon, so chances are this will be getting replaced with a Sonic 1 and 2 box set. So I've got a small bit of space on the duplicate shelf, so we can get to that. Spaceballs, one of Mel Brooks' dumber movies, but still highly entertaining. Speed, logic goes out the window with this, with Keanu Reeves and Dennis Hopper. Step Brothers with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. Seen this? One of their better movies. Don't see Holmes and Watson. That movie was awful. Taken 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, Liam Neeson. Can't go wrong. I haven't watched Taken in a while, actually. Pelham 1, 2, 3. Saw it in theaters. Good movie. Not my favorite Denzel Washington movie, but it's good. Taxi. This movie's something else. It's pretty bad, but it's definitely watchable. It's good for a laugh. Or if you just want to rot your brains for like 2 hours. Ted 1 and Ted 2. The first one is better. I mean, I don't know if Seth MacFarlane's good at making movies. He's probably better at writing and directing TV shows, like The Orville. My wife and I have been watching that for the past couple of weeks. We saw it when it first came out, and it didn't really click with us. But then it was on Disney Plus. We watched the first 2 seasons again before season 3 launched, and yeah, The Orville's really good. Apparently, that is his biggest passion project ever he's ever done. So I would say The Orville is more impressive than the 2 Ted movies and A Million Ways to Die in the West. Teen Wolf 1 and 2. The first one was okay. It was Michael J. Fox before Back to the Future. He complained he was doing a werewolf movie while there's Steven Spielberg down the street doing this movie called Back to the Future. Oh, how times changed. Teen Wolf 2, we don't talk about that one. Terminator 1 and 2, the best ones. I don't particularly... The sequels aren't necessary. I would say Terminator 3 is entertaining. Terminator 4 was redundant. And Genesis and Dark Fate were terrible. Turbo Heist, saw that 10 years ago, I think, is when this came out. Fun movie. I own the first 3 Toy Story movies. As you know, if you've seen Video Memories, I despise Toy Story 4. I actually went back to rewatch it a couple of months ago, and I was just chatting with my friends for the majority of the movie, talking about how much I hated it. And I think in Video Memories I said I felt bad for not liking it, but now I realize I don't feel bad anymore. I know why I hate it. It's a terrible movie. It's poorly written. The jokes are awful. The dialogue is awful. It's just the most unnecessary movie ever. But that's just me. My friends will never agree with me. Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, one of their best movies for the pair of them. Uncle Buck, my wife and I watch this every time we go on holiday. Funny story with this, actually. My wife and I went on holiday once. The place we were staying had a DVD player in it. We were going to put one of our own movies on. I forget what it was. It may have been Saw. I don't know. We open up the DVD player, and there's a copy of Uncle Buck in it. It wasn't ours, but we knew what the movie was, and we liked it. So, yeah, my wife got a free copy of Uncle Buck. Probably, it's my favorite John Candy movie ever. It's still a fun movie. I might watch that after this, actually. I have the Universal Monsters, obviously. These are probably my favourite horror movies of all time. I abused these when I did video memories because I was trying to get the I was trying to get them all to fall on the ground in the frame without breaking, and at least 2 frames were ruined because the DVDs opened and bits of them fell apart. And also, interesting story, people may not have known this, but the Universal Monsters episode of Video Memories came out the day I got married. I was going to leave a message in the premiere chat saying, by the time you watch this, I'll be walking down the aisle, but I forgot to do that. So yeah, this came out the day I got married. And since we're here, that's me and my wife on our special day. It was fabulous. Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. We've got to love Wallace and Gromit. Wayne's World 1 and 2. I like them both. The first one probably the most, but I like them both. Wedding Crashers, found this when I moved. It's an alright movie, entertaining. Weird Science, a fun, dumb sci-fi comedy movie of 1985. We're the Millers. I probably bought this just because I could. It's Jason Sudeikis, so it's dumb. Wild Hogs, entertaining. Found it because of... I knew 3 of them when I saw this. I knew Tim Allen, I knew John Travolta, I knew Martin Lawrence. So yeah, that's there. Wreck-It Ralph, good movie. Probably the best movie of 2012. The sequel is not too great. Yes Man with Jim Carrey. Awesome. Young Frankenstein, possibly my favourite Mel Brooks movie. It's up there with Blazing Saddles, so I'm happy with this. And Zootropolis. Good movie. Don't know why it has 2 titles. In America, it's known as Zootopia, but over here it's Zootropolis. So, yeah, this is a fun movie. This is one of the rare Disney movies from the 2010s onwards that is actually really good. So, yeah, that's that. Now let's talk some TV. Okay, we have Ab Fab, the definitive edition. Saw this when I was a kid. My mother owned it on VHS. It's a fun show. I don't know. The front cover's terrible. Yeah. I own the Beatles anthology because, of course, I do. Technically a TV show. Billy Collins' World Tour of Scotland. Yep, I own that. I own England, Ireland, and Wales, a tour he did in 2002, I think, and his tour of New Zealand. I used to own the World Tour of Australia. I have no idea what happened to those DVDs. Christmas with the Simpsons, probably the first Simpsons DVD I ever owned. Yeah, this is good. Dining Out with Timon and Pumbaa, awesome. Awesome, not as good as Around the World, but I'll take it. Ed, Edd n Eddy's Edifying Adventures, terrible title. I'm still waiting on that Ed, Edd n Eddy complete series box set, DVD or Blu-ray, I'll take either. Family Guy, I own the first 18 seasons or volumes or whatever they're called. And that's probably as far as I'm going to go. I'm running out of space there. Got Garfield. Awesome. The first 12 seasons of Hell's Kitchen. I don't think the show holds up as well as it did when I first watched it. When I first saw... my wife showed me a compilation of Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay losing his mind at the contestants and when they were doing their dinner services, and I thought it was really fun, really funny. And I watched the show. My wife and I binged the first 15 seasons, I think, of this. No lie, we actually did. We spent like 2 or 3 weeks watching all of that. And then I think my mother bought me this on DVD, and, you know, I'm happy to have it. Maybe I'll watch it someday. But I just don't think I'm a fan of reality shows. So, yeah. Gordon Ramsay's entertaining, fun guy, severe douchebag. And then we have the shelf guardian of the DVDs. We have Bowser. He is my favorite Mario character, my go-to Smash character. And yeah, He guards my DVD collection. He is also owned by... Well, he was from Build-A-Bear. Nope, that just says Mario. He probably has a Build-A-Bear logo on him somewhere. And he guards the DVDs, specifically Hell's Kitchen. Oh, no, there's the Build-A-Bear thing. Yeah. He guards Hell's Kitchen, because obviously we don't want someone to steal those. Do we? Impractical Jokers, a friend of mine showed me and my wife this show. It's really fun. Yes, it's a really goofy show. I've been meaning to continue watching this, actually. I own the first 8 seasons. That's probably the only ones I'm going to buy. My favorite Joker was Joe, and he left the show recently, so it's still a fun show. I would easily recommend it, but when it comes to home media, this is probably as far as I'm going to go. I own the In-Betweeners. I would say the show doesn't hold up that well these days. It was written for its time, and it kind of shows. So I would say watch the first movie and leave it there. Kim Possible, The Secret Files, reviewed it for Video Memories. Good stuff. Little Britain. I bought these off eBay recently. They were very cheap. I liked the show when it came out. It's one of those shows you're not supposed to like anymore, but I liked it when it came out. It was funny. You could never get something like this on TV these days. I watched as far as I think the middle of season 2, and I just stopped there. So I like Little Britain, but I really shouldn't. Yeah, that's the thing. What is that? Little Britain Abroad. Yep. Oh, yes. Here we go. The Looney Tunes... what are they called? The Looney Tunes DVDs I own. These 5... are probably my favourite DVDs I have ever owned. I mean, obviously, I praised these in the episode Looney Tunes in Portugal. Yeah, I love these DVDs. I bought them when I was on holiday in Portugal. It was 2004, I think. I'm just trying to think back to the review I did. My mother and I went to a shopping centre called Modelo. These were in the bargain bin. Probably like €2 or €3 per. My mother bought most of them for me, and these killed so many hours when I was on holiday. It is unreal. Yeah, I was happy with those. I also bought this Looney Tunes Stranger Than Fiction. It's basically a DVD of featuring web cartoons with a very low budget. And we're talking very early internet cartoons that run at really low frame rates, low budget, very limited animation. Daffy Duck and the Roadrunner. I think these are my wife's, but you know I have them. Rescue Me, fun show with Dennis Leary. Started watching this around the time season 5 was airing, so that would have been 2008, 2009. And yeah, I own the entire series. It's 7 years, 7 seasons, 93 episodes, if I remember right. I'm not going to open this because it's a pain in my ass to actually get through. Robot Chicken, seasons 1 through 5. Yep, these are here. Robot Chicken's a fun show. I love stop motion, so that's cool. Saturday Night Live, seasons 1 through 4. I did own season 5. I no longer have it, and I'm not that bothered about it. These were the highlights. Yeah, these were probably the best. Well, I don't know if oh God, I haven't watched Saturday Night Live properly. Obviously, I can't because I'm in the UK. But I'm happy that I own these. Honestly, if you're going to own any Saturday Night Live DVDs, make it some of these. These are highlights DVDs for specific actors. So I own Adam Sandler. I own Mike Myers. This is probably the first one I own and probably my favorite. Steve Martin, popular host of the show, never a cast member. And Will Ferrell, that's the second one I own. I did own the first one. I don't know where it is. So if you're going to own any Saturday Night Live DVDs, just make it one of these. There's loads of them out there. I own Sonic Boom Season 1 and Season 2 on Blu-ray, because at least now that's complete. I liked Sonic Boom when it came out. Tom and Jerry Complete Collector's Edition, you know how much I love this, if you saw Video Memories. It's missing only 2 shorts out of the first... How many is it? Yeah, these numbers are absolutely not right. I think it's like 163 or 4 or something out of that. You know my opinions on Tom and Jerry, stick to Hanna-Barbera and you're good. Hey, it was a red light briefly. Lights. And Tom and Jerry feel festive something. You've got this, that's all you need. And now, here we go. The new one. Guarding the shelf, we have a giant pink pepper. This is a Dug pepper. I tried to get one. What his mascot is an orange pepper. He had that on sale for a limited time. I couldn't get one. So when he announced he was doing a pink one that was glow in the dark, oddly enough, I decided to buy this. Yeah, you're supposed to leave it in sunlight for a certain amount of time to get it the full effect, and it's a pain in the ass trying to light this up. I left it in the sunlight a couple of times, and then I put it in one of my hall cupboards to get it to glow in the dark properly. It's a pain in the ass trying to light it up. So yeah, he's here guarding the duplicates. So first shelf, Back to the Future, VHS, 2 DVD packs, the Blu-ray packs, the 25th anniversary ones, which are honestly the best if you want Back to the Future. These have the best presentation. They look perfectly fine. Yeah, I would say it's better than the 30th anniversary. I also own on 4K, as you saw earlier, the Back to the Future TV show, which I had to have when the Blu-rays, the 25th anniversary came out. Oh, no, wait, that was 2010 that came out. It was the 30th anniversaries that came out. Never mind. Basically, this came out in 2015. I had to have it. And the Telltale point-and-click game, gotta have that. Now, this is a funny one, actually. This is an LED tape that is basically like a giant lamp. There's a switch on the back. And this is what it looks like. There's LED. It's basically just a VHS shell with the tape reels taken out and LED lights in it. Hang on a minute. Turn the light off. This is what that looks like. And so I bought those a few months ago. I bought 2 of them. I bought Back to the Future for me, and I bought Jurassic Park for my wife. So yeah, those were cool. It's a bit of a pain trying to work this. The lights are not as bright as I would like. Certainly not on that level. Yeah, certainly not on that level. But it looks fine. It looks best when it's a fresh battery. And honestly, you fiddle, but you try and get the off switch on there. You're going to end up touching the wires, and it gets a bit iffy. But you know, it looks cool. It's a shelf filler. So that's cool. I'm happy to own that. Now we've got duplicate movies, which surprisingly I didn't own that many of. Fish Called Wanda's here. I don't know why I own 2 copies. This was my original collection of Frankenstein movies when I wanted to give the Universal Monsters a proper go. So I bought this. Yeah, that's awesome. My original MCU collection. This is the DVD edition. I don't know why I didn't just buy Blu-ray in the first place, but whatever. My original copy of Miracle on 34th Street, Ratatouille, which surprisingly I have. And this is my copied collection of... this is a DVD pack of stuff I've copied from the VHS collection. I also have one of TV. Let's have a quick look at these. I mean, it's pretty simple what I did. I popped a DVD player into the DVD player, and then I just copied whatever was on there. So, Yeah, basically any movie I own in the Recordable collection is, chances are it's in here. Yeah, there's nothing to say, it's just all copied there. It's the same with the DVDs, really. Yeah, everything's just copied into here. So I basically had to split off what was DVD and what was movies and what was just TV shows. And some of them I had to go easy. Some of them I had to split off, like the cartoons video. I wasn't sure what to do with that, like tape 1 and tape 5. I didn't know what to do with them, so I just copied the first 2 hours and then I just left the rest, because those I recorded about 7 to 8 hours worth of content on that. There was no way in hell that was fitting on a DVD. So yeah, it's mostly just TV shows and stuff, like Cartoon Network. I've got Disney from 2003. I've got the Nick Jr. Party, which I've actually passed on to the Thomas TV Patrol. I gave them that. I gave some other stuff I have of Thomas on Nick Jr. So yeah, they have that. They'll upload it when they plan to. I haven't asked them about when they're planning to upload it, so it'll happen when it happens. I've got Boomerang, cartoons, Pokemon from Toonami. You know all this if it's in video memories, and Recordable Fridays. You know all this. So yeah, this is all fabulous. Back to the shelf. So, god-awful explanation aside, that is what the recorded videos... this is where the recordable videos went on DVD. Now this was a big surprise. This is the Disney Classics 57 movie collection. Yeah, this is massive. This is 57 movies, all 57 theatrical animated movies, from Snow White to all the way at the back, Frozen 2. So that's about 80 years worth of movies right there. Now normally this goes for around £200 to £300 brand new. Because it comes with this. It comes with this book, A Celebration of the Walt Disney Animation Studios. This is actually an abridged version of the Disney book I have on the bookshelf. Yeah, I showed this to my wife. She was fascinated by this. It's got a timeline of how the animation studio worked. It's got stuff on Mickey Mouse. It's got stuff on the movies like Dumbo. It's all fabulous stuff. So, yeah, this is an abridged book of the Disney book I have over there. So, yeah, this is fabulous. So, yeah, between the two of these normally go for like 200 to 300 brand new. I mean, it's 57 movies on Blu-ray. So I saw one on Amazon that was going for £127. But the seller listed it as an acceptable condition. The front cover was severely damaged. Yeah, it didn't mention the quality of anything else. It mentioned that. It mentioned, I don't know, some online codes have been redeemed, which might be on the Blu-rays. I'm not sure. Like for digital copies, I don't know. So I took a chance on it. This is what the front cover looked like when I got it. It's definitely been severely damaged. Tape everywhere, giant rips. Yeah, there's a rip there. Yeah, this has been clearly bashed really severely. So I was worried when I got this that this would also be damaged, but no, it's in terrific condition. The Blu-rays all work really well. You get posters for all the movies that are in here. It's all really cool stuff. So This is a terrific bargain for what I paid for it. I got it for probably less than half the retail price, and it's in great condition. So yeah, I cannot recommend this enough. If you love classic Disney, anything in the first 80 years, super generic, I know, but if you love classic Disney movies and you want to have them in probably the best visual quality you can ever have, I cannot recommend this enough. I love this box set to death. This is fabulous. The Disney Classics 50. Let's try that again. The Disney Classics 57 complete movie collection comes with a book and sort of a cover, which hopefully is not bashed. It has all the movies on it, going from Snow White to Frozen 2. It's all fabulous. I should mention some of these are DVDs like Saludos Amigos, The Three Caballeros, and for some reason the Black Cauldron, I don't know why, probably because it bombed, I don't know. So basically, if you buy this, what you're getting is 52 Blu-rays and 5 DVDs, plus the book. So yeah, I cannot recommend this enough. This is fantastic. If you have the money, go get it. The Disney Classics 57 movie collection. Now time for duplicate TV shows. AbFab, I got one of these, don't know why. Actually, first thing I should acknowledge, these DVDs are a little cramped. I had to move some shelves around to make room for the Disney movie collection. So yeah, I had to move the shelf down. I was lucky I managed to make enough space, because this shelf, this is the support shelf. I cannot move this one. I can move every other shelf perfectly fine, but just not that one. So I had to move the duplicate movies down a bit. Angry Video Game Nerd, volumes 1 and 2. My dad bought me those. Countdown, the DVD game with Carol Vorderman and Des Lynam. I used to play that one before school. Don't know why, because I'm dumb. Dennis Leary, Lock and Load. Technically not a TV show, but it goes here anyway. Season 5 of Family Guy. Don't know why. Actually, I may have lost a few DVDs with my current copy that's down there. Maybe. I don't know. This is something I held myself to recently. I got this for my birthday. I bought it for myself. The Looney Tunes Complete Golden Collection. It's basically 6 volumes of Looney Tunes DVDs. The Looney Tunes DVDs that I got in Portugal, they're in volumes 1 and 2, I think. Oh, dropped it. Yeah, here we go. They're all in here. So yeah, I'm happy I own this. Yeah, the rest of them will be in volume 2, I think. Actually, there's no think about it. They are all in there. So basically, any of those DVDs I didn't buy in Portugal, I have spares. And this is a great collection to own. Very cheap as well. It's like £30 for a pack of 6. And that's like 24 discs, I think. Going all the way back to Bosco and Buddy. So that's cool. Singing Kettle Live. Found that when I moved. Decided to do a Video Memories review for it. My original copies of Sonic Boom. This is only the first season. Yeah, I have them. Still Game Live. Yeah, that's cool. It's the stage show to the TV show. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Magic Moments and More. Nothing to say there. And this is what I just showed off. It's stuff I copied from VHS to DVD relating to TV shows. Now, we got to talk about this. My Pokemon collection. I've decided to stop after Sinnoh. Because, well, for one thing, these are expensive. These are expensive normally, but the Unova ones are brand new. And still cost, they're like £60 a box set. And I didn't like Unova anyway, so I was happy to stop for now with Diamond and Pearl with Sinnoh League Victors. That arrived this morning before so I knew it was time to get going. So yeah, I said I had a story for Indigo League. It was weird when this was when it was on its way for delivery. I got the notification that it was meant to be coming, and for some reason eBay said it was already delivered, which it very clearly wasn't. So I was just really confused with that. Like I'd been screwed out of money or something, but it did arrive. It was fine, and then I decided to, once I did the first 17 minutes of this video, I decided to sit down and watch the Pokemon anime. My plan was to cover the entire anime from Kanto to Unova, and oh boy, I realized early on that Pokemon has not aged well in the slightest. I'm going to say this for Pokemon. If you're a kid and you're watching it once a week on Toonami or wherever it's airing, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. It could be entertaining for that. But when you start watching it in bulk, you begin to notice there's some serious problems. I noticed this early on in Kanto. The storylines don't really go anywhere. They don't do anything truly daring. I mean, take Digimon, for example. My wife showed me Digimon Tamers. I don't particularly like Digimon, but objectively, it's a better anime than Pokemon's ever been. Just because they decided to do actual proper deep daring stories with their anime. Pokemon never really does anything. You'll get the occasional episode like Unova Survival Crisis in Unova, or whatever episodes it was in the Advanced series when Team Magma and Team Aqua used the orbs to revive Groundon and Kyogre. You'll get those occasional episodes, but most of the time it's one-offs, and most of the time it's really bad filler. Johto League Champions, so that was the worst of it. Let me quickly go back. I did Kanto fully. I did Orange Islands fully. I would say Orange Islands was probably the most interesting. It was of Kanto and Johto. It was filler, but it was unique filler. I did Johto League Johto Journeys rather. I got through that, and I realized by the time I actually got to the first gym battle that Johto is a horrible region in anime form. So I did those DVDs. I did these 5 DVDs. I did thoroughly. Johto League Champions, I made it 19 episodes in before I realized how much I truly hated the Johto anime, because nothing happens. Most of the Johto League Champions is like 90% filler. So I made a plan to skim over Johto League Champions and Master Quest. I would only watch the ones that were story relevant, whether that be Ash or one of the others catch a Pokemon, whether the Pokemon evolves, or any Pokemon evolves, or if it was a gym battle, or just anything story relevant, like the Red Gyarados, or the Johto Silver League. So I did that. That was good. And then when I got to Advanced, because I remembered the Advanced saga being really good and from when I was a kid, so I decided to sit down and watch the Advanced saga. It still was the best the anime had ever been up until that point, but there were still some issues. The number one being Team Rocket. They appeared in every single episode, whether they needed to or not. So usually they show up, steal either Pikachu or the Pokemon of the day. And Meowth has some really dumb fantasies about what Giovanni will say if they catch the Pokemon, and I was so glad to be done. The worst thing is when I got to Advanced, which is probably the Hoenn season that holds up the most. By the time I got to that, I was just so burned out with Pokemon, I had to cut down on how much I was watching. So for Advanced Challenge and Advanced Battle, I had to cut down to like 3 episodes a day. That's an hour per day. So I spent maybe 2 or 3 weeks just going through the Advanced saga. And by the time I got to the end of Advanced Battle, I was so glad to be done. And I haven't touched Pokemon since. God, I hate... See, it's a childhood favourite, but I really, really despised watching Pokemon. I'm just a really stubborn man, what can I say? I'll say this about Pokemon. The anime is awful, but most of the time the theme songs hold up really well. Like Joe League Champions, it's a fucking awful anime. But Born to be a Winner has held up better than I ever remember it being. Advanced Challenge and Advanced Battle, they had great theme songs, they always have. And then I stopped from there. I do not have the willpower to continue Pokemon. So I don't regret owning this, certainly not on the level of Fast and Furious 9. But I have Kanto to Sinnoh, and I have Pokemon Chronicles, which I already own, so that's going here. But you know what was an even more positive experience than owning these? I bought the first 10 seasons of The Simpsons. This wasn't planned. I only planned to buy Pokemon. I thought Pokemon would take up 2 shelves. My plan was to split Pokemon between 4 kids, which would have stopped after Advanced Battle. And I think it was Pokemon Company International. They started dubbing with Battle Frontier, and they've been doing it ever since. So I was going to split them off from there. But then I decided, you know, they fit fine. I got lucky with that. So I decided to dedicate a shelf to The Simpsons. If you remember video memories from like 3 years ago, I did a 649 episode marathon of the show in only 6 weeks. 12 to 15 episodes per day. Roughly 4.5 to 5.5 hours of The Simpsons per day. That was fun. I lost my mind at the end of it. But I still had a soft spot for the show, so I think this is my next collection plan. I'm not going to document this, but this is my plan. I'm going to collect the first 20. I mean, they stopped after 20, so the first 20 seasons of The Simpsons I'm planning to collect, and I think I might have enough space for it. So yeah, I had to have these. It was like £30 for the first 10 seasons, so I had to have that. I love The Simpsons. The TV marathon, I actually went back and finished recently. I had a week to myself, so yeah, I have now done all 728 episodes. Watch that be out of date in like a couple of months' time. So I think my plan is whenever a Simpsons season finishes, I'm going to go back and rewatch it so I can be all caught up. But so far, as of recording this, I'm completely caught up. It's 728 episodes I've seen. And I'm not doing another video on that because I had a story for it and I'm done. This is the Miscellaneous shelf. The AVGN Blu-ray big fucking group of DVDs or Blu-rays as they call it. Board Games, because I love Cinemassacre. A collection of Billy Connolly DVDs, all over the place from 1981 to 2010. Fabulous. Dennis Leary, this has No Cure for Cancer and Lock and Load, which we saw up there. Awesome. My George Carlin collection, this is fabulous. Yeah, that's there. Yep. I've got all 14 of his shows plus the commemorative collection. Greg Bissonette, musical drumming in different styles. Greg Bissonette's a fantastic drummer, and he currently tours with his hero, my hero, Ringo Starr. 1997 to 2014. The rest of my shelf is filled with his shows, which is fabulous. And yeah, that's everything. One thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about the MCU. This is my wall of Marvel. When I bought the Blu-ray sets, I remembered they had posters in them. So I decided to dedicate a large portion of the wall to... It's basically the wall. It's the wall of Marvel. It's every poster from Iron Man down to... You can't really see it, but it's Spider-Man No Way Home. It's basically every movie that's in there. And they had this weird card thing that has... It has all the movies on one side, and then it has this giant thing that makes up Thanos. So that was really cool. Yeah, I like that. So that's my entire collection. It's fabulous. It's taken months to build up to this. But we got to do one more thing. This is what it's like every night. Let's just have one more look through with the lights to guide us. The focus is going to go out really badly on this. This is really cool. It makes Bowser really menacing. Hold on, wait for it to turn red. Yeah. Back to the Future. All that good stuff. So yeah, that's it. So that's it. Thanks for sticking with me through this. Not just putting the media collection together. Thanks for sticking with me for the past 15 years. I started out in 2006. I just started making Thomas and Friends content. It was the thing I knew the most. I couldn't record from Cartoon Network at the time, so I may have done something there. I went through several accounts. I did the multi-language series, which lasted surprisingly long. Recordable Fridays. I think that's when I actually discovered who I really was. I was a guy who loved home media, especially Cartoon Network home media, and I discovered that I did record a video. I did GT where I love to talk about stuff. That's when I discovered that I love telling stories, and it went on from there. I did, and then expanded into video memories. That's really where all this started. Vintage home media, modern home media, even telling stories about my childhood. That's when I discovered who I really was. Thomas and Friends was one thing that helped me over for the first 12 or so years. But telling stories and about my life when I was younger and spreading the love of physical media. That's just who I've become these years. So yeah, just share. If you could just, if Video Memories has done anything, I just want people to be able to express what and tell stories about what they were like when they were young with home media they owned, and any funny stories they had, and just spread the love of physical media and share the good times of your childhood, or if you started collecting when you were older, then just share the love. And yeah, that's about it. Just, it's been 15 years, going on 16, and thanks for sticking with me.